track down exactly which agencies here on this Friday afternoon are now sending these notices of reduction in force, effectively layoffs, firings to their employees.
And past a few weeks, something unexpected has started happening, and it's having real economic consequences here in the United States. So international travel patterns are shifting, tourism numbers are dropping, and many Americans are now asking the same question: how did we get here? Yes, so for years, political leaders promised that tough rhetoric and aggressive policies would make US stronger, more respected, and more competitive globally. So supporters believed that approach would protect American workers, boost the economy, and discourage foreign pressure. So global reactions do not always follow domestic expectations, and that's where today's story begins.
I just heard from a spokesperson over at the Health and Human Services Department that they are among those agencies, those departments that are going to be moving forward with agency RIFs. I am told that here from the agency that it's going to be across multiple divisions, and that under the Biden administration, the department had become bloated. This is the spokesperson. HHS continues to close wasteful and duplicative entities, including those that are at odds with Trump administration's Make America Healthy Again agenda.
Well, according to multiple travel industries, reports and international media outlets, tourism to the US has slowed in several keys. So travel agencies, airlines, and hospitality groups cite a mix of factors. That is political uncertainty, diplomatic tensions, there is consumer-driven boycotts, and travel avoidance. So whether formal or informal, the result is the same. So fewer visitors, fewer booking, and less revenue. So this means most employees will be laid off automatically. So the economic consequences of now this is tourism isn't abstract. It directly supports hotel workers, less restaurant staffs, and then there is the airport employees. We have also small businesses around those areas. So when international visitors disappear, those workers feel it fast. So in several cities, local business owners are already reporting lower foot traffic and cancellation of reservation. So in this case now, the supporters' reactions. So some voters who supported these policies are now experiencing frustrations. So not necessarily because they've changed their beliefs, but because the consequences are landing closer to home. So online people are asking, why are our businesses being punished? Is this really helping American workers? Who pays the price when global relationships break down? Of course, it's the citizen and the supporters of the policies. So these aren't insults or attacks. These are genuine concerns being voiced by everyday people.
Here. And so just how vast are these intended layoffs? It's not clear. We are 10 days into this government shutdown. We should also be clear at the same time that not only has the AFL-CIO filed a lawsuit, but also the American Federation of Government Employees. And there is actually a hearing that is pending to take place in Northern California this upcoming Thursday. Those lawsuits were filed ahead of this actual action being taken place. It was when OMB Director Russ Vought had threatened, along with the president, to move forward with these firings that we have not seen in previous government shutdowns. This also comes after the IRS had informed employees who had been furloughed that they would in fact be receiving back.
I got laid off this morning because the Trump administration cut off all federal funding for childcare.
So why this caught people off guard? So many supporters assumed economic pressure would flow into the US, not outward. So but in the global economy, actions ripple in every direction. So when international consumers choose alternatives, the pressure often lands on service workers, local economies, regional tourism hubs, not politicians, not on communities. So the bigger picture here is this moment highlights something important. Political decisions does not exist in isolation. So they interact in global markets, public perception, and consumer behavior. You don't have to agree on politics to acknowledge economic cause and effect. Yes, so
I worked in a behavior treatment and reduction autism center. They had to close one of our branches today and laid off all employees because this administration is awful. Awful. And if you support it, I seriously hope that you reap all the benefits of this horrible man that's running our country. I hope that you get to feel the way I feel being laid off and losing your job on a Monday morning at 9 a.m. and you don't get to say goodbye to the kids you worked with for 14 months straight. You don't get to say goodbye to your coworkers. You're just done.
Aw, you're actually dealing with market conditions. And because there's so much fraud. So we're not going to hold accountable Somali fraud. We're not going to hold accountable Minnesota legislators. We're not going to hold the governor accountable. We're not going to hold any of those people accountable. We're going to hold Trump accountable for protecting American taxpayer dollars, which I am very confused because I never understood why we as taxpayers have to pay for daycare for a bunch of people that's choosing to have children on their own free will, especially when it comes to illegals and illegal migrants inside of the United States of America. I don't believe that people that migrate over to the United States of America should get any social services whatsoever. I don't believe that my taxpayer dollars, which I appreciate Trump for protecting our taxpayer dollars, especially since we have a $37 trillion budget deficit, and in multiple different states and multiple cities across the United States of America can't manage their resources effectively, including California, Minnesota, and so on and so forth. But I guess my point that I'm making is that I think that individual private industry should be the ones that determine whether or not an industry is sufficient or a business can sustain itself. It should not be based off of the federal government. The federal government, in my opinion, should not be funding childcare in any capacity. I don't understand that. So when it comes to you and your skill set and your job and whether or not you can say goodbye, people get laid off every day, B. From the plant, they don't get a chance to say goodbye to their coworkers, school systems, police officers, firefighters, people that are essential to the United States of America functioning and cities functioning. And so while she's wishing that back on us, we're going to wish that back on her times 10 because we don't like evil spirits wishing that on people. You know what I'm saying? These people going to have to get off of their high horse and feeling like they're entitled to anything, and they're going to have to start standing in their own 2 feet. Like, it's that simple.
You have nothing lined up, no jobs, nothing.
Aw.
So,
I just
Nice.
got laid off. I'm like in shock right now. I was showering and I joined a global PT.
My name is Angel. I live in Columbia, Missouri. I woke up watching news and finding out we are going to give Argentina a $20 billion bailout while we can't even have health care in this country. And we're falling apart. And our beautiful fucking orange wannabe god seems to think he needs a Nobel Peace Prize, which I don't understand because he's tearing our country apart. I'm really not crazy. I really never do this. I'm 60 years old. And for the first time in my life, I am scared to death to live in this country. I want to take my family and leave. I can't afford passports, imagine. But anyway, please, if you agree with me, call your senators, protest, do whatever you can. But I don't understand why we are giving another country $20 billion when so many people are on the verge of losing health care, so many rural hospitals are on the verge of closing, when this ACA or whatever they want to call it, Obamacare ends, everybody's premiums are shooting up. Not just the poor people you think are on Obamacare, but everybody's, because a whole system's going to have to absorb this. The system's going to have to absorb people they can't afford it and have to go to the emergency room for treatment, and that's all they can get. So we're going to let our people just lay here and die because they can't get health care, but we're going to bail out other countries? I don't understand. Please, if you agree with me and you think something needs to be done, just call your senators and tell them, please. Thank you for listening to my whiny.
So all of this is not about blame or celebration. It's about understanding the consequences. So the global economy responds whether people expect it or not. And when it does, real Americans feel the impact. So the question is, moving forward, isn't who is right or wrong. So it's how the country navigates the reality it's facing now. So that's it for this topic today, and I'll feed you guys with more as everything, comes up. So tell me what you think on the comment section, and if you're an American, because these are the people that are really mostly affected. Tell me how all of this has affected you, and how are you guys planning on navigating this? Yeah, so I'll see you in the next episode. Bye guys.